Hello, good evening. My name is Daniel, and it's a pleasure for me being here explaining this topic pre Columbians. Long before Europeans ever arrived, the Americans were home to some of the most advanced civilizations in the world. The Aztec in Mexico built a magnificent capital called Tenochtitlan, a city on a lake with dams, markets, and canals. Further south, the Incas controlled a vast empire in the Andes, connected by thousands of miles of roads. And the Mayan in Central America had already developed complex writing, astronomy, and calendar centuries earlier. Those weren't simple people. They had governments, art, religion, agriculture, and thriving trade networks. Then, in the late 40s, everything began to change. The conquistadors were Spanish soldiers and explorers, many of them ambitious men from lower noble families who dreamed of fortune and glory. They wore metal and armor and helmets, carried swords and firearms, and rode horses, animals that indigenous people have never seen before. To native peoples, those men would be seemed almost supernatural. In 1492, Christopher Columbus landed in Caribbean, opening the door to conquest. Because of this, Spain sent more explorers, men like Hernan Cortes, who defeated the Mayan Aztec Empire in 1425, and Francisco Pizarro, who conquered the Incas in 1432. They came looking for gold, land, power, and spread Christianity, and the way to find was extraordinary. Rich inspired vast amount, silver and gold, and millions of people. However, they didn't come in peace. They used the superior weapons, formed alliance with rival tribes, and perhaps most devastatingly, they unknowingly both diseases like almost pox, smallpox, which weakened millions of indigenous people who have no immunity. As a result, the consequences for native people were catastrophic. Entire civilization collapsed, and indigenous culture, languages, and religion were suppressed or forbidden. Millions died for war, disease, and brutal forced labor system called the encomienda. The social structure was destroyed and native peoples became the lowest class into their own lives. However, in the end, something new also emerged, a mixed culture, a blend of indigenous and European tradition, which is still very large of Latin America identity today. The conquest didn't just came America, it created American we know today.